What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. We back in these work streets. We back in these streets. Just wanted to drop a quick video. It's hot as hell out here, but I ain't mad. I love the hot weather. It's supposed to be like 85 today. I love seeing it. Makes it for a happier day. I just want to jump out here right quick and just give my thoughts. Obviously, we knew the Ezekiel Elliott signing was on the horizon. It was going to happen, but today it is official. Ezekiel Elliott is back in the building with the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm just going to give my quick thoughts on it. First of all, make sure you go check out my interview with Mike Fisher. It was a really good interview. We're going to do it again very soon. Definitely go check out that interview. There's a lot of good nuggets, a lot of things that we talked about that are I've been speaking about, but it just kind of validated what I had been thinking. Also, I got a video with Danny Phantom with Blogging of the Boys today. I don't know if we're going to go live or whatever it's going to do, but it's going to be the pessimistic versus the optimistic, because if you know Danny Phantom from Blogging the Boys, he is super optimistic Cowboys guy. I guess maybe I'm super pessimistic Cowboys guy, and we're going to go head-to-head today and just do battle on the good and the bad and the ugly. But on this Ezekiel Elliott thing, yesterday, when I did my interview with Mike Fisher, one of the things I said was once Ezekiel Elliott's name was brought up before the draft, I instantly thought, because I've already said this in many of videos, that the option of Ezekiel Elliott, to me, I didn't want that. And it's no disrespect to Ezekiel Elliott. Just like we talked about on that interview with Mike Fisher. I ain't never disrespected Ezekiel. He was a straight beast here in Dallas, dog. Like, people think you dissing him, but you're not. I just don't want him back here, in my opinion. Like, I don't think he's going to do anything significant. But that doesn't mean I don't think the player was great. I just don't think he's going to come back and do anything miraculous. I think once they talked about getting Ezekiel Elliott before the draft, I feel like they were like, well, we got our running back. We got Darrell, who we like. We got Deuce Vaughn, who was our running back last year, who didn't get to see any time. And then we signed Royce Freeman. We bring Ezekiel Elliott back. He didn't have a bad year. He ran for almost 700 yards in part-time duty, even though I broke down the numbers on my Twitter about his averages. The last 5 starts he had, he only had one game of 80 yards, and all the rest of the games were 53 and below yardage-wise. He didn't have over 5 touchdowns, I believe, on the season. If he was such a great red zone threat, then how come they didn't put him in there for the red zone threats? And then when they said, oh, well, the reason why he wasn't running was because New England's offensive line was compromised. No, because somebody showed me the run-pass splits on the percentages were damn near the same as Dallas. So that was a myth that the offensive line, the New England Patriots, wasn't good. And to me, Ezekiel Elliott is just a straight line runner. He's a power runner. But when Tony Pollard went out in the playoffs 2 years ago, you had Ezekiel Elliott back there, and we definitely, Dallas had no threat. And if you got Darrell and Ezekiel Elliott, yeah, Ezekiel get yards, but he's not moving the needle for me. And to me, he's a progress stopper, because by him before the draft being announced that he could possibly come back, right there, it progress stopped you drafting a running back. And that's what I said to Mike Fisher, and he said, yes, that's what it seems like, but Cowboys are saying it's not it. How can it not be it? You mentioned Ezekiel Elliott. You picked up Royce Freeman. You like Dowdle. You got a running back in Deuce Vaughn who you didn't see no time last year, but he is small. He's tiny. What do you think he's going to really do? And I know the Cowboys thinking, oh, we bring Ezekiel Elliott back, we're good. That's why they picked up Tyler Guyton. That's why they picked up Beebe. That's why they're solidifying that line so they can run the ball with those guys that probably not going to be the most explosive guys, because Darrell is known for his injuries. So as soon as he get hurt, who's starting? Ezekiel Elliott. He's going to be back to be a starting running back, so he progress stopped. There were opportunities to get another running back this year. You got Deuce Vaughn last year. You could have got some better running backs than him. I'm not hating on Deuce Vaughn, but that pick was just 6th round. There were other backs size-wise that could have really did something for you. You got Vaughn, who did nothing for you his rookie year, and I don't think he's going to do anything for you this year, anything significant. So that's why I call Ezekiel Elliott a progress stopper, because he progress stopped you drafting a running back, in my opinion, because you didn't draft one, because you had Ezekiel Elliott. And now you're going to push that agenda to all the Cowboys fans. That's fine if the faction of Cowboys fans love it. That's fine. I ain't mad at y'all. Don't be mad at me because I don't want him back. Don't be mad at me that I don't think he's going to do anything significant. Don't be mad at me because you're talking about him being inside of 10 and whatever. That ain't moving the needle for me. Ezekiel Elliott ain't going to come over here and do anything significant to help move the needle for the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion. If that was the case, then why'd you cut him? Why did you cut him? Because you were being cheap? You still had to pay that $6 million, I believe. I'm not the salary cap guy, but you still had to do it, right? If he was so great, then why'd you cut him? You had Tony Pollard. You could have ran with it again last year. Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. You cut him. And you kept Dotto and those other guys. Now you're bringing him back and selling it like he's going to be this world beater, because he's going to end up being a starter. Like I said, progress stopping. It's going backwards to me. So it's just not moving the needle. So in my opinion, I don't really like the pick, and I'm not jumping up and down to Ezekiel Elliott's back. And once again, it's no diss to Ezekiel, but not doing anything here, or why they cut you. So, and then, just another thing about, Dak Prescott, Trey Lance. You see, Mike Fisher, I asked him that question about Dak Prescott and Trey Lance, because I've been having these theories for the last 3 years about the situation, and I feel like Mike answered those questions for me. That question for me, when he said they ain't all in on Trey Lance, because they're not picking up that 5th-year option. That's $22 million, but they want to see, and that's what I said in my other video, that Trey Lance is going to get every opportunity in mini camp, OTAs, training camp, preseason, because they're going to have to look to see what they got. And also, now the Cowboys ain't tripping, because they're going to pat themselves in the back, because in this draft they flipped that pick and traded back and added that pick in the 3rd round, and that's what they're going to live off to validate that 4th-round pick they gave up for Trey Lance now. You get what I'm saying? So now they're not going to feel like, oh, we're not stressing it now because we got that pick back and we added an offensive lineman and Cooper Beebe. That's what they're going to tell people, and that's what they're going to tell their brain to make themselves feel better about that pick with Trey Lance. But they're not paying that option because you don't know what you have in them. So that's why they're going to push him, in my opinion, this early this season to see what they actually have, to see if he's worth it, or they're going to move on from him and get rid of him, try to get a draft pick or something for him later on. But this is going to be the Trey Lance audition for either possibly the Dallas Cowboys or for another team in this preseason for next year. Now, also, I didn't told you, I don't believe that this front office has believed in Dak Prescott. Mike Fisher said that they did. We're going to massage that $55 million and keep him. But he said, somebody in the building says, now there's doubt. Now they're not all in on Dak Prescott. I believe it was still like that, and it was only a matter of time. But I also believe him being a 4th-round pick, these last 3 seasons of 21, 22, and 23, that Dallas failed, had good teams, had records of 12-5 all 3 years, had teams to get to a Super Bowl, were talented enough to get to the Super Bowl, but failed. So now I feel like they put that on Dak Prescott, because I keep on hearing Stephen Jones saying we got to get guys in here that can get us over the hump because we've been winning games, but we ain't been doing nothing in the playoffs. That's what I've been hearing Stephen Jones saying a lot these past month. We ain't been getting over the hump in the playoffs. We need to get people in here. So I feel like that was the factor of telling me that, nah, they definitely ain't all in, because this last playoffs, you should have had it. And Dak was not the main reason, but he was part of the reason why Dallas played terrible in that playoffs. And each one of those playoff seasons, Dak had a hand in those losses. So you can't say, oh, it wasn't Dak. Dak did have a part in that. And I feel like they're looking at that and saying, it can happen this year, but this is what we're doing. If you can do it, do it. If not, we're moving on. And that's why we heard Dak say serious talks hadn't happened. That's when he said, we'll see at the end of the year, because I done told y'all they wasn't all in, and they looked at these last 3 playoffs, in my opinion, as saying, we tried, we don't believe it now, so we're going to go ahead and move in another direction. That's what I feel. It could be totally wrong, but Mike Fisher said that they ain't all in on Dak no more, and he said all of them are on a 1-year deal. And also he said, when I said about Bill Belichick, I don't know what happens with Will McClay, but if they don't sign Dak, he's at the end of the year. Bill Belichick comes in, whole new regime, whole new quarterback, whatever, and then Bill Belichick manages it the way he wants to and starts it over. And I don't want that because he's a 73-year-old dude. I'm not hyping no Bill Belichick up because you didn't do nothing without Tom Brady. So I don't know, but this is just my thoughts and my opinions on it. It just, to me, that Mike Fisher interview just verified some things that I already had in my heart, and they were confirmed by Mike Fisher. So take it as you want. We'll see what happens. Check out that video. I think it's going to be good between me and Danny Phantom. Mr. Pessimistic versus Mr. Optimistic tonight. I don't know if I'm going to do a live, but we'll see. And obviously, you know, we got the rest of the week. Final word. Burgers and Blitzes will be back with Star, the Stargazer, the Star, Big Star show. And possibly going to be getting my show on with College Football Dogs, the Big Game James show. So just stay tuned in. Hopefully we can get my dog, Julius Wood, just signed with the Cowboys as an undrafted rookie free agent, safety from Columbus, Ohio's finest, Columbus Rams, all that. Y'all go check out the video. We're super excited. But that's just my thoughts on it. In my opinion on the Ezekiel Elliott thing. Not moving the needle, and I feel like that was the progress stopping. I just don't feel like it's really going to do anything for Dallas this year. And it's just nothing for me. Big Game James. I'm out. Peace.